Welcome back, everybody. This is Carol Royce, and I am your host here every Sunday afternoon. And, of course, I'm with Vicki Royce, Middlebrook. Hello, Miss Vicki. How are you today?
Hello, I'm doing great.
Well, you're looking chipper.
Chipper. Okay.
Well, I know Chipper. Chipper played third base for the Atlanta Braves.
Chipper Jones?
Chipper Jones. I used to love to watch Chipper Jones. You know how I got that name? This has nothing to do with real estate. This is trivia. Because he hung around with his dad, who was a baseball player, and they said, "Man, you're just a chip off of the old block." So they started calling him Chipper.
Chipper.
What do you think about that, John? If you ever go on Jeopardy, that might win you $1 million.
That might save me.
It may save you.
Well, you always hear you learn something new every day.
Every day. Hey, we have Lola Castle with us today. Hello, Lola. How are you?
I'm good, Carol. How are you?
We are just absolutely wonderful. And, you know, we love having Lola Castle on our show. She's with Castle Designs, and Lola is the home stager, but Vicki and Josh, she's much more than that. She's also an interior designer. Is that correct, Lola?
That's correct.
Absolutely. So, you know what I love about you, Lola? You have helped us sell many, many homes. If they stall on the market, if they're vacant and there's no furniture in them, and you come in and you do your magic, it's not, maybe it takes a week, maybe it takes 10 days, but I'm telling you what, those houses sell for top dollar.
Yeah, I think we've definitely had some great results working together. It's been a great team.
It's been a great team. So, Lola, why should, if a seller has a vacant house that they're trying to sell, why would it matter if they staged it or not?
Well, it definitely makes a difference. I think that when you're trying to sell for top dollar, that you really need to pay attention to detail. And, if the home is vacant, there isn't any furniture in it, then your buyers are walking through and they're seeing everything. They're seeing, walls and floors, and they're I don't want to say nitpicking, but they're looking at all of those details. So not that we want to cover them up, but when you bring in furniture, it kind of just creates more of a home, and they're not necessarily fine-tuning everything to any minor imperfection.
Well, I remember one house that we did. We did a big house in Mesa. I mean, it was like 8,000 square feet, and it was a beautiful home, but it had a lot of different rooms and a lot of different components. And buyers just, Lola, could not figure out, what would we do with this room? How would we use this room? And when you came in and you put a very beautiful office in one of the rooms that they used as a music room, but most people don't need a music room with a grand piano. But when you turned that into an office setting, and then you showed how the family room could be utilized, because that was kind of a strange house in that, where do you put your TV? Well, most people want TVs today. And you figured that out. And what happened then was, now buyers came through that house and they went, "Oh, we get it. Oh, we see. Oh, that's great. What a super idea." And it just really helped us sell that home. And Lola, the magic that you created, that home was on the market with another agent for over a year. And then Vicki and Josh, they called the Carol Royce team, and the first thing I did was call Lola Castle. And together, we sold that house in, I think, 3 weeks.
Well, and one thing with that house, too, is I remember in the kitchen there was sort of a pillar there. And, that house had such a unique, ornate styling to it, but Lola suggested kind of boxing it in with a more modern look. And I think that helped as well.
Yeah, it did. Sometimes homes are a little too taste specific, and what we do with staging, and sometimes when we need to go in and make a few changes, is we try to appeal to a larger, pool of buyers. So when you're too specific, it may be, it may turn off buyers. So, and with the staging, yes, we want to give a room a purpose. Again, when you walk into an empty home, if there's any kind of confusion, buyers may just turn around and walk out. But if we create a purpose for a room, then yes, they get it. They get what they're supposed to use that room for, and it makes sense.
Because you would think that, well, a buyer could see that they could use this as a music room, an office, a playroom, a computer room, but they really don't, Lola. You almost have to present it to them, and then once they see it, then they go, "Oh, I see what we can do here," and that gives them more thought process.
Right. In my experience, we assume that buyers have a vision, but they really don't. And so we have to create that vision for them. Just like when a room is, a bold painted color, a lot of times sellers might think, well, they can just paint it, whatever color they want. But typically, buyers want to walk into turnkey. And so we just want to, create any obstacle that might be in the way.
Well, and the buyer is probably eliminating that house from
Well,
even
that's true.
seeing it based on the photos they're seeing online. So that's why it's important to have the home staging or to have homes painted and color schemes changed when you want to get top dollar for the home on the market.
Yeah, first impression is everything. So if we know that they're looking online at home, so it's just so important to get it ready for the first impression.
Well, the other thing too, you not only do staging, which has really helped our home sellers, but a vacant house, a buyer assumes that the seller has moved on, so they might make a better buy. So the offers tend not to be as good, as strong, right, Vicki?
That's right.
Yeah.
But Lola also helps when we represent buyers. She's helped many of our buyers where she's come in and she's done the interior design and took them out furniture shopping.
Absolutely. And, one of those is a radio personality here in Phoenix. We can't say his name, but he said, that Lola was very clever because he said, I would pick this out. And Lola would say, yes, I could certainly see that in your home, but wouldn't this be a better option? And he said, it didn't take many times. And he said, I get it, Lola. You're nicely telling me that my taste sucks and this is a better option. And we were over there very recently visiting him, and I must say that the house looks beautiful. You guys did a great job.
Thanks. That was fun. He didn't know what he needed until I helped him.
Most men don't.
I can attest to that. I go into a store and I'm like, wow, this will look great. And then I bring it home and I'm like, oh, there's no way this is staying. So I have none of that vision myself, despite always working in said houses.
The other thing too, Lola, I appreciate about you, you will do consulting, and by that I mean Vicki and I are getting ready to put a big house on the market. And you came over and you walked through the home with the seller. I can say to that seller, you should do this, you should do that. And they kind of listen to me, Josh, but they just kind of dismiss what I say, right? Well, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. But when Lola comes over, and you have such a wonderful way of presenting things, Lola, and just even if they only take 50% of your suggestions and you write them all out, it just gets that house ready, easy on the eye, because they might not think that having a bright red recliner chair in a formal area is a good idea. And we know that that's probably not the best place for that. Let's put that in the family room or in the game room. But the way you live in a house and the way you sell a house, Lola, two different things.
Yep, exactly. And, selling and staging, it's not decorating. Basically we want to emotionally detach. So it's never the purpose to offend that your style or your taste is not on trend or appealing, but it's too personal. So we always say depersonalize, almost think hotel room. It's beautiful, but it's very neutral. So we neutralize, but we also want to give them something to remember. We basically want to highlight your home's best features. So
well, that's very true.
Staging.
And the other thing, too, to remember is if you ever go out and look at model homes, when you're in the kitchens, the kitchen counters aren't laden, Vicki, with all appliances and dish drainers and just all of the things that we use in daily life, right? But when it comes time to sell, what do we need to do with those items, Lola?
Yeah, I always, suggest just keeping it as clean and clutter-free as possible. So clear off the countertops, keep it really simple, and don't tuck everything, don't jam-pack everything in your cabinets or, hide them away. Really kind of go through and minimize as much as you can because, yes, we want to clear off all the surfaces, but we also want your buyers to see how much storage space you have. So we don't want to jam-pack everything into the cabinets after taking it off of the countertop. So we just want to kind of minimize as much as possible.
That is so true. The worst thing that could happen is that you stick everything in a cabinet and the buyer opens the cabinet and it all falls out.
Well, the other thing is you're going to be packing to move anyhow.
Oh, that's true.
So you might as well pack up that stuff or use up the stuff and have less inside the house. I always say if you want to box it up, put it in storage or put it in your garage. That's a great option. But just for the buyers, clutter-free is best.
Always, always.
Exactly.
So Lola, if someone would like to, so you could consult with someone that may or may not be selling a home. They could be living in their home, but just know that maybe it's time to declutter. Would you be available for that kind of a consultation?
Oh, absolutely.
What is the best way for our listeners to get to you, Lola?
You can just give me a call, and my number is 480-415-6705.
I'm
Yes.
on Lola's website right now,
Oh,
and it
okay.
is beautiful, castledesignshome.com. And you can see her work on there and projects and home staging, and it is a gorgeous site. And she is talented. So if you're thinking of that you want to remodel your house, do some redesign to things you have, maybe just move the furniture around, Lola is a great asset for you.
Hey, Lola, we're getting ready to go to break, but I would love to talk with you just a little bit more. Are you available to stay in studio with us and let's just talk a little bit more about your services?
Sure.
Okay, very good. Hey, listen, Vicki, we're getting ready to go to break, so why don't you take us out here?
You are listening to the Carol Royce Real Estate Show right here on 550 KFYI. We're here every Sunday afternoon from 2 to 3 p.m. Remember, your home sold guaranteed or Carol will buy it for cash. Pick up the phone. Give Carol a call today, 480-776-5231, or go to our website, carolhasthebuyers.com. We'll be right back after the short break.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. This is Carol Royce, and I am with you every Sunday afternoon and really happy to be here today. And I'm in the studio with Josh Collum.
Hey there.
Hey there, Mr. Josh, and of course, Vicki Royce Middlebrook.
Hello, I'm excited because
Why?
we're talking with Lola Castle.
We
and her
are.
work is amazing. Every time I get to see what she does to our listener and our clients' homes or our buyers, I'm always amazed at the work and the quality and her taste of what she does to transform these homes. And some of them just for a little bit of money, and others, they spend a little bit more, but it's a wow factor.
It truly is. And Lola, we are so excited to have you here. And this is Lola Castle. Her company is called Castle Designs. And, just a case in fact, we had a seller that called us and said, if I sold my house as is, what would the price be? And I gave him that number. And I said, but what if we did a few extra things? And he said, what do you have in mind? And I said, why don't we get Lola Castle over? And I want to see if her thinking and my thinking are in line. And Lola, we had you over and you made some suggestions, correct?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. We, as soon as I walk into a home, some things just kind of jump right out to me. And this is, it's a beautiful home. And it had some great details, some great architectural details. They have some beautiful beams in there. But the specific, one of the first things that jumped out to me is that he had a large fireplace too. So, and it was very dark, and it had some dark stone on it. And the two details were competing with each other. So, we talked about it, and I suggested, refinishing the fireplace. And, he wanted to kind of put some new tile on there, and we came up with a better solution that actually minimized his cost. And the transformation of the fireplace it brightened up the room, and it even highlighted the beams even more. So it just really kind of brought the whole room together, and it wasn't overwhelming as it was when I first walked in.
Vicki and Lola and Josh, here's what happened. I referred one of our vendors to him, and Mark came over and talked with the seller. And I think, Lola, that the seller's going to spend $3,500 now to get this fireplace redone.
But this is not just an average fireplace.
No.
This is a massive
Double-sided
two-way fireplace that goes with high ceilings. So it's not like just if you had a regular fireplace in a corner.
That's correct. But what happened, Lola, is when you walked in, you were immediately taken to that massive fireplace, and it just wasn't in today's styles. It just wasn't trendy, and most buyers, in my opinion, would have rejected the house based on that. And I thought your suggestion of taking out the stone, which we found out was fake. It wasn't even real stone once the contractor got in there, but like $3,500. Now, this is a home that will come on the market well over $1 million. And so he spends 3,500, and Vicky, we can get him back
Oh, yeah.
35, 40,
And now
50,000.
You're going
Yes,
to open the front door, and this is going to be the focal
Wow.
point.
It
And
is.
you're going to go, wow.
Yeah, it'll go from like a distraction to an actual feature that people want to look at.
So just
Exactly.
loved your suggestions on that house, Lola, because when I came in, I thought, wow, beautiful house. I mean, loved the location, beautiful house. But I was to the point, Lola, where I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to approach it, and you were so good, and you gave such good information, and he is so excited to be working with you, and we are anxious to get that one. You're going to stage it. You're going to put furniture
Yeah.
in the house. You know, the other thing, Lola, that I see that you do, you use the big area rugs, and boy, does that soften a big house.
Yeah, that does make a big difference. In this specific home, it's all hardwood floors, and they're gorgeous. But when you kind of place furniture just on top of the hardwood floors, they don't pull together. So when you put a nice large area rug and you put your furniture feet on top of the area rug, it kind of grounds a room together. And this is a nice open room. So we want to create that intimate feel too with the furniture arrangement and the area rug.
So again, if you're listening to us today and you're thinking to yourself, well, I want to get my home on the market, but I want to maximize how much money I get for it, Lola Castle is someone you need to talk to. She is one of the Carol Royce team vetted vendors. We've been in business with you, Lola, for at least the past 5, 6, 7 years. I'm not sure how long we go back, but it's been quite a ways. And if you just want to have Lola come out and maybe redesign your home or help you freshen your home or get it to a trendier look, Lola, you're absolutely fabulous in that one too. And that doesn't mean you have to put it on the market just because Lola comes out. Although I would want you to, but you don't have to, right, Vicki?
No, that's right. Just if you want to refresh your house. She's awesome. So give Lola a call today.
And what's the best phone number, Lola?
480-415-6705.
And we highly recommend Lola at Castle Designs. So Lola, what other success stories? I know you do business other than with the Carol Royce team. So what other successes have you had out there? And what trends are you seeing? Let me ask you the trend question first.
Yeah.
Are we still on the whites and the grays and the subway tile backsplashes? What and the cabinet colors white? What are we looking at in 2021 for the trends?
Yeah, we're definitely warming things up. So I do still like a white, I like white walls, I like white cabinets. I think that's kind of timeless. The cool grays, they're going out and we're warming everything up. So you're going to start to see things head actually more towards the creams and beiges too. So you'll see a nice mix of gray and beige for a little while, but we're starting to go on the more warm side.
But the golds and the burgundies and that heavier look, we're not going to see that, correct?
No, you see a lot of clean lines and yeah, the heavy drapery, those are kind of out. So, that's one thing that I do always kind of suggest when you're getting ready to sell is take the heavy draperies off the window, take the outdated valances off of your window and let your let us be able to see the view and just keep everything nice and clean.
So would you then, Lola, say it's better to take the heavy draperies down? So you're not saying take those down and replace them with the drapery. You're just saying take them down.
If I had the option of, keeping the heavy draperies on or just going with nothing, I would take them off and go with nothing.
Okay.
It makes the room really heavy and crowded and closes it in. So yes, if you can't replace them, I typically recommend just taking them off completely.
Okay, and I'm glad to hear that, Vicki, because I know the other day you did the same thing with a house with heavy draperies. Let's just go ahead, get them off the windows, clean the windows. And the seller said, but I don't want to go put new draperies on. And you said, no, you don't have to. I'd
That's
rather
right.
they not be there with the clean windows and so you can see out in the backyard.
Absolutely. Buyers want to be able to see and put their style into the home and not have the seller's style that was maybe heavy or a different taste.
Exactly. So Lola, what are you seeing in the way of bathrooms? What trends are you seeing there?
It's just still, I like to see everything nice, light and bright. So if you don't have natural light in your bathroom, keep the finishes bright, kind of go with whites and, again, a warm gray tone. I wouldn't recommend going too specific as far as, if you're selling. I'm always kind of thinking of selling. So don't go too taste specific. Don't go too dark. Just keep it nice and light. We like the 12 by 24 tiles on the floor. Always looks great. A nice accent tile in the shower. And, I keep it nice and clean and simple.
So Lola, just a question about my house. I'm going to get some free advice here. I've got oil rub bronze fixtures, and I was looking at them the other day thinking, should I change them out? But then I looked. They're on my shower hinges. They're in my shower. They're on my bathtub. They're everywhere. Could I redo my bathroom and maybe leave the oil rub bronze so that I don't have to do all of that?
Yeah, that's definitely a commitment when you start changing out hardware. And
oh my gosh, yes.
Oil rubbed bronze isn't necessarily out. We are seeing a lot of that. Some of the style of the pictures has changed a little bit, but no, I think you can definitely do some updating and, again, kind of lighten things up if that's what you're looking for and still keep your same hardware.
Very good.
What is
Go ahead.
typically out is the brass. So yes,
Brass.
We're now seeing like a matted gold, and we're seeing some updated gold finishes, but the brass that from a.
And I tell you, Lola, when Vicki and Josh and I go into a house and they've got those Hollywood bulbs for their light fixtures, that is one of the things we say. Go down to Lowe's or Home Depot and spend money and get a different lighting fixture above your mirror in the bathroom. That will do more to freshen that bathroom up and then put the white spa towels out. That will do more to brighten that bathroom up than anything, because you see those Hollywood bulb light fixtures and it just dates the house, right, Vicki?
That's right. Absolutely. Just changing the look. So many people will say, I wish I would have done this sooner than when I was selling. So if you have some of those things in your home, go ahead and get those changed out now and enjoy them, because you never know when the time will come when you're ready to sell.
Agree, Lola?
Exactly. Let me just talk about lighting super quick, because lighting is everything. So one of the first things I'll notice when I walk into a home is if the homeowner has the LED lighting it gives off a blue hue. That's the first thing that I would recommend changing out. Go to a soft white light. I just wanted to mention that really quick.
To a soft. Now that is that if you're selling, go to a soft white light rather than that LED blue.
You know what? She makes a great point on that, because we had a listing that was not selling. The feedback was coming back dark, dark, dark.
Right.
We changed the light bulbs just to that soft white and had multiple offers instantly.
Unbelievable. Little things mean so much.
And it wasn't that the house was dark. It was the lighting.
Right. And that, that blue cool hue that some of that LED light gives off, it's just not aesthetically pleasing. It's just not attractive. It creates a whole different mood. So I just suggest the light.
There we go. Hey, Lola, we are going to break here. Thank you so much for being on our show today. Vicki, take us out.
You are listening to Carol Roy's Real Estate Show right here on 550 KFYI. We'll be right back after this break.